Hey guys, we're so excited to announce that we have our very own sponsor. That's right, we have a sponsor, and it is something that we use every day. It's Zencaster. We're going to have a discount link in our show notes, and stay tuned for the swing round and after to hear why we love Zencaster so much.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, a game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is Ken coming at you in the studio with all the boys. What's up?
Hi, Ken.
You always know it's Ken because he's coming at you like some 70s shock jock.
Oh, I like
That
it.
wasn't shock jock.
That was sort of a napping jock.
Yeah, that's the mood I'm in today.
Yeah, and it's a night episode, which means it's crazy today.
I just got up from an
Crazy
hour-long nap.
Were your legs elevated?
I don't think so.
Is
Why
that
do
true?
you ask?
Well, because I've heard it's true if you put your legs up elevated when you nap, it's like you get twice the amount of nap in one.
That
I will
can't
try
be
that
right.
because I'm not a successful napper.
Okay.
You know
I've
what I
never
mean?
been
I
good
always
at
wake
math,
up and
though.
I feel like a mummy.
Yeah, because I heard that all the blood then rushes, I don't know, in your body better. Who knows? I've read it before.
I'm going to do the legs up the wall pose and fall asleep that way. How about that?
The only thing I can tell you is that your best nap is less than like 20 minutes.
That doesn't sound good to me.
Anything more than that, and you go into REM sleep and you need a full 90.
I think
I
any
need
more
some
nap
nap
talk is
tips.
going to put our audience to sleep.
I know
Yeah.
we're talking about Michael Stipe sleep and all that other kind of stuff. So
Well, let's try to wake them up and introduce our exciting guests. First of all, we have an executive producer for Triviality. Don't get to say that a lot. It is Dave Brown from Minnesota. How you doing? And thanks so much for your support.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on and play a game. It's great to be here, and yeah, I just really enjoy what you guys do. So,
Of course.
So as executive producer, you get to pick Neal's actual back tattoo, I believe is that.
Yeah.
right,
Yes.
you get a design and I'll put something on my back.
And add to the
You
one
got
that
it.
exists or doesn't exist.
That's right, the Schrodinger's back tattoo. There's some exciting changes. We've been talking to you before the recording about you being a sommelier. It looks like you're going to get back on the saddle again. But what is life like being a sommelier?
it's a lot of research, as they say, and when I say that, I'm making a drinking motion because that's what a lot of it has to happen. But it's a lot of fun. It's making people enjoy wine and tell them. Making people happy. So it's like being a master servant. So it's all it is just like, hey, we drink wine, we want something. Then my job is to literally go, what do you like usually? And if like, oh, we're new to this or we like this, then my job is to pinpoint and pull out of whatever my cellar is a wine that is in their price range and in their flavor profiles of what they want. Or if they don't want any of that, my job is to pair it to whatever the dishes that are coming up and as my suggestion. So.
Well, what would
It's
you
really
pair
fun.
with a Buena beef sandwich?
With a beef sandwich?
Yeah.
Um,
A red.
I never had that, but is it spicy or is it just rich?
It's a little,
You can put some spice on it. Some
hot
Chardonnay.
Like a classic
Jardinier.
Italian
Talking
beef.
about Bona?
Yeah.
To be honest, right now, I would probably pair something red, for sure. And there's a grape in Spain called Mencia. It's from the northwestern part of Spain. It's like nice, like fruity and floral with some good body to it.
Like
It has
Ken.
good acidity. Exactly. And it's really good acidity. And it's not too tannic, so the spice and the tannin won't fight each other. But then you get this really good fruit that covers the spiciness. And then that acid will cut through the richness of the beef. So it's like this really
That sounds
kind of
perfect.
this new
I'm going to
grape coming
assume
up,
this
so.
guy knows what he's
I
talking
know.
about.
This is great info.
I
here.
know what I'm going to be dipping my beef sandwich in this weekend.
Yeah. Mencia is kind of this new grape. It's not new. It's old as hell. All these grapes are really old as
New
hell. but
grape
it's
just dropped.
global warming has really brought up the growing region in northwestern Spain. Like it's just north of Portugal. It was literally cold for a while, but now it's getting a little warmer. So the grapes are getting a little bit riper. So yeah, Mencia because they go tha instead of sa. So
Right. And from our resident sommelier to a Dutch enthusiast, that is Eric Walling. He's going to be presenting the game from Kansas City. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, gentlemen. It's good to see everybody. Dave, good to meet you. Yeah, it's been a little while. I've relocated into a quieter space. Pay no attention to the kid who just decided to mow my yard as we started.
That's what that was.
Recording. Yeah,
Perfect timing.
yeah. I just said try to be here right at 7.
Well, give
So-
the fine folks at home a reminder about who you are, what you do, and a little
Yeah.
podcast that you might want to pitch.
Yeah. So I am one of the umpteen members of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We are everything sports and mirth related. If you like sports trivia, deep cuts, sometimes we put out episodes every Friday, and yeah, we have a pretty small but passionate following. We've been doing it for over about 150 episodes now. So
Wow.
Way to go.
thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to Benchies Part 2 coming up pretty soon. I don't know if we'll ever top Benchies Part 1, but it's it was good. It was a good bar to set. So
Nice. All right. Well, we're excited for this game. Looks like Dave is going to be pairing up with Matt today.
Yeah, I think he was a little nervous about the potential sports themed questions, so I think that will be a good fit. You were saying off air that after COVID kind of slowed down the sommelier business, you were doing a little bit of car repairs.
Yeah, so I've been working as a mechanic for the last 3 years, and then part-time as a som, but now that's ending at the end of this month, which end of May, I guess, is when we're recording. And then so starting June, I'll just go back to full wine because of COVID. Nobody really needed
Yeah, it's time to go back to the full
sommeliers.
whining, I think. So we were thinking that we would be experts in motor oil, and we'll be the motor oil sommeliers.
Love it. Well, in that spirit, Jeff and I hope not to be doing any whining after this game, but just in case, we're going to be boxed whining.
Very good. We have our teams. Let's get the rules.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
All right, Eric, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. All right. Question number 1. What is the term defined as a large jug with a wide mouth, formerly used for carrying water for someone to wash in, and not, as I once thought, someone who oversees a flock of female sheep?
All right, Neil and I talked this one out. We're not 100% sure, but we've got a guess.
All right, so they're locked in. David, tell me what you know about jugs.
No, not these kind of jugs.
No,
Is there a name for a female sheep?
I think that's a lamb, right? Is that
Yeah, or
do we
is it a...
do we know animals? Are we bad at this too?
Let's just say mason jar, and then
Oh yeah, let's go with the old standby.
the wide mouth mason jar, the one
Yeah.
that doesn't have the little. That's how you know.
wide mouth Billy Bass mason jar.
Sounds good to me.
For the record, the reason I said that you wouldn't know is because a ewe is a female sheep.
Oh,
We decided to go with carafe. I feel like I've heard that before. I feel like that's like a wide mouth thing that they usually leave water on the table when you go to a restaurant. So
No points are going to be awarded for this one. This is a crossword puzzle special. This is Jeff mentioned it. A female sheep is a ewe, and a jug like this is a ewer.
Oh,
U-E-R.
Ah.
I've never heard of that.
that's that show on Netflix, right? With the guy from
yeah.
Gossip Girl, but it's with sheep.
Ewer.
Ewer.
Yeah.
You were fired for that.
And the announcer of that show is the famed Milwaukee Brewers announcer,
Bob Ewer.
Bob Ewer.
Next.
Just a bit outside.
No, keep it going, guys. I'm here for this.
I like that
All
just
right.
a bit outside.
Right. Question number 2. Name the 2 hip-hop acts, one solo and one group, nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022. The solo act was elected, while the group was not, much to this host's dismay.
Oh man,
I don't feel like there was a lot of clues to go on there.
I know. I was like,
You're
come
waiting.
on,
You're like, all
clue.
right, give me some clues.
Okay, so I have a name that I know 100% was inducted, and the other one I'm pretty sure was up for induction. But knowing Eric and the music groups that we both enjoy, I'm just gonna go with that answer if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I'm hoping that the worlds of wine, motor oil, and hip hop collide in your brain. Is that possible?
No.
No.
It does not.
Um,
That's why I was like, I know you listen to a lot of. I just thought you might listen to some hip hop, but
I do, and these are going to be guesses based purely on the age and the amount, the longevity of when it usually takes for somebody to be inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. For a solo act, are you okay with me guessing Nas?
yeah.
And then
Fine with that.
for group, I don't know too much about what Eric's into, but he seems about the beard length and age to be a big Tribe Called Quest fan. So we're gonna say a Tribe Called Quest.
Well, I'm glad you said that, guys. Because
you might like Sister with Voices.
That's
so.
possible.
Glad you guys said that because I think we too said Tribe Called Quest, right?
We said Tribe Called Quest. Yep.
And then hopefully for the rest we weren't talking gibberish because we moved our lips and
Ugh, Jeff.
we didn't forget about M. So
Oh man.
One team will be receiving points. Indeed, the one inducted was Eminem. The other, as my beard length appears to have given away, was a Tribe Called Quest.
I don't know how I got that, to be honest.
What a shame they weren't inducted.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question number 3. What ornithological term is used in golf when a golfer scores 4 less strokes than par on a hole? Only 4 of these have ever occurred in PGA history, and only one of those was in California.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Well, if you feel good about that, then let's go with it.
yeah.
I think that we are going to make a bogey on this hole, to be honest.
Well, it's either I got 2. It's either albatross or a condor.
it's going to be a condor. Albatross is 3 under.
I thought
It
I thought
goes
3 under was the double eagle.
so it goes
And then-
birdie. So birdie, eagle, albatross, I believe.
I thought I went birdie, eagle, double eagle, albatross,
Oh, maybe.
condor.
So you want to go albatross?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not an avid golfer, so I am okay with that. So we're gonna lock in with albatross.
Ooh, I'm a little.
I've never even heard of a condor.
I think condor might be right because I do think a double eagle and an albatross are the same thing. I think most people just call it a double eagle, but we also went albatross.
Yeah, albatross and a double eagle are indeed the same thing. The next lowest score is a condor.
As soon as Matt said that, I was like,
the
ooh.
California
Much like the
condor.
California condor. Yep.
California condor. Never mind. All right.
That's a
fun.
California condor.
That's a great question.
It's a
It's an
bird.
animal.
Oh, it's just a certain animal. Okay.
Some kind of bird. I don't know.
It's a condor.
It's a laid back
Um,
bird, always stuck in traffic.
Okay, question number 4. What fashion brand started in 1933 in France claims to be the first brand to display visible logos on the outside of its clothing?
All right, Jeff and I wrote down 2 names that we are pretty certain are French companies, and we're just going to go with our gut and circle the first one that we wrote down.
Are you a big fashion guy?
Yeah, wearing this great motorcycle t-shirt here.
Is it French?
No, yeah, it's.
I mean,
I think it's Sri Lankan.
it
Actually.
does
Yeah.
it does look like it's like a $200 couture
Yeah.
like t-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Isn't
So-
there like a Eves or Eve something like YVES, and then it's something like Saint Clair? I don't know. I don't really know much about the French.
Saint
Fashion.
Clair Eves?
No, it's like
Oh, I have a vague understanding of what that is.
like Yves Saint Pierre or like. I mean, like, can you think of any other French designers? Because
No,
I like that, like-
I was like Versace. No,
Italian.
I know.
Gucci is Italian, Dolce Gabbana is Italian,
There's
Ch-
a-
Chanel.
Coco
that's-
Chanel, but that's later. It's got to be
Yeah,
way
that's
later.
that's way later. And it's
I was thinking like if Polo was a brand, but like that's.
oh
English.
wait, no, I think I got it now. I think it's Louis Vuitton.
Oh, okay. Louis
Yeah.
Classic logo.
Vuitton.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton. I actually have a pair of these shoes. That
Oh, with
I
the
got
little
from
LVs on them.
Yeah.
Locked in.
So
I think Dave was thinking of Yves Saint Laurent, which Bruno Mars
Yes.
talks about in 24K Magic. But yeah, we wrote down Louis Vuitton and Chanel. We knew those were both French. We just kind of said, let's just go with Chanel and see what happens. So that's what we did.
Well, what if I told you that this brand logo was an animal?
Lacoste.
Lacoste.
Damn
The
it.
Lacoste alligator.
I always
the
forget
first-
they're French.
Yes.
I don't play enough tennis.
Rene Lacoste, the tennis player. Yeah, wanted to display the logo that he was named after, the alligator, and they claim to have been the first to display them on the outside of their clothes. So.
All right.
So many dudes with puka shell necklaces and popped collars wearing Lacoste all throughout high school. I just assumed it was American, but
No, I
That's
was thinking
paired
about
with a Von Dutch hat.
I was thinking about Lacoste, but I was thinking about like just the letter, like the big letter branding.
yeah, me too.
Question number 5. Willem Dafoe, Kate Dickie, Ralph Ineson, and Anya Taylor-Joy are the 4 actors that have appeared in at least 2 of the 3 films directed by what American horror director?
We can lock in.
Who are 4 people who will never appear in my kitchen?
Every time. That's funny.
You have to put out a chessboard, and that's like kind of like Santa Claus with like milk and cookies.
So
and
that'll
Anya.
get Anya Taylor, but what about the other ones?
Willem
What's-
Dafoe.
what's
Just
gonna get
nudity.
Willem?
We just need nudity.
Just like some good breakfast, you know.
That's true.
Um.
I'm a bit of a podcaster myself.
Yes, he said the thing. We're all excited about it. What do you know about American horror directors?
It's the one category that I don't really ever watch in movies.
Mm,
It's like the thing I was like, oh, it's a horror movie. Like, I don't care about it anymore.
yeah.
The only one I can think of is like Willem Dafoe was in The Lighthouse. I think that considered a
I think it's a action thriller.
okay.
I don't know. I made that up. I'm thinking
It was not.
It was not.
It's a very slow burn for an action thriller.
It could be Peele because he's not been directing that long.
Well, yeah. Let's do Peel.
Okay,
It's a pretty good
Lock
guess.
in. Yeah.
Jordan
Contemporary
Peele.
horror
Yes.
director.
So this one is a director. Ironically, I very much enjoy from what I've seen of him, but I've actually never seen any of his movies, even though I could tell you his movie if I spotted it on the street. But we went with Robert Eggers.
One team will be receiving points. Indeed, it was Robert Eggers. So you mentioned it. The Lighthouse and the Northman were the 2 with Willem Dafoe. Anya Taylor-Joy is in The Witch and the Northman, and then the other 2 were in The Witch and the Northman as well.
Oh, is that the Vivitch?
The Vivitch.
I'm pretty
Which
big.
my-
I'm a fan of this director, actually.
I really like his stuff. I haven't seen Northman yet, but one of my friends told me to watch the Vivitch, and he was like, it's not really gory at all. And within like 10 minutes, they're grinding a baby in a mortar and pestle.
Eep.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, okay. But that's about
lied.
it.
Yeah, pretty cool future here with him and Ari Aster. I mean, both making some pretty interesting films. So
They're going blow for blow. Anyways,
Nah, we could skip the scores.
Yeah, let's get the scores. Yet to strike is the motor oil sommeliers, but the boxed whining, 20 points.
Question number 6. In what large U.S. state will you find Loving County, the least populous county in the lower 48 states? The 2020 census had a collective county population at 64, giving it a population density of 0.095 people per square mile.
all right, Jeff wrote down a state, and I'm in agreement.
All right. So they have a state. What
We
large
got
states?
48.
Yeah. So not and lower 48. Well, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Isn't Wyoming the least populous state in
Yeah.
the union? But is that considered large? That's like the thing is like what's the large states? I mean, Texas, obviously, California,
Yeah.
but
Wyoming's pretty big. Is it the Big Sky State?
possibly.
That would be
Also,
maybe
yeah.
a clue, or maybe that's Montana.
And
Hmm.
then I think Montana's the big sky. That sounds right. But then there's, like, for example, like there's North Dakota. That's kind of a large state, and there is like There's some runs of not a lot of things there in the parts of North Dakota. Pretty barren
Yeah.
up there. So it's like,
I'm kind of leaning towards Montana and hoping that Big State is a clue, and that Big Sky State is an inroad.
the only thing I have anything is Wyoming, knowing that it's the least populous, but it's like,
Well, that is
Is
more
that-
than I'm bringing to the table. So let's go Wyoming.
Yeah, we thought
Yeah.
about that. Wyoming is least populated. Thought about Montana, which I think is the third largest state by area. But I happen to know that Interstate 50 is known as the loneliest road in America because you can go like 100 miles without hitting a gas station. And that's in Nevada. So we guessed Nevada.
Well, my my hot pitching streak continues. Neither team receiving points. This is Texas.
Ah,
Oh.
told you.
Neil wrote Texas.
Because I said he loves Texas, and I was like, it's probably
Ah.
game theory.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Including the lack of people.
I didn't get
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
That's okay.
Right on the border of New Mexico. Texas and New Mexico, way out in West Texas. 64 people. Question number 7. What bird can signal its own mood through changing the color of its head? A bright red head generally indicates excitement or aggression, while blue or white may indicate calm. The characteristic is so distinctive, it has earned the nickname the seven-faced bird in Korean.
It's a big bird, right? When he's furious.
I think it was Larry Bird.
When he's murdering other Muppets.
Okay, we're going to lock in.
Harvey Birdman? Is that what we have? We have nothing, do we? You know birds?
I mean, no.
This game is not in our
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
2 bird questions.
Like a duck or a swan or like a,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a peacock, but I don't know if that's.
Yeah, at first I was thinking it was going to be about those questions or those birds that their feathers change when they're mating or whatever. Like they do those weird patterns with their feathers, but it's not. Because I see those on, what was that show? World? Life? Something like
Yeah.
that.
How about, or like a, I mean, does a turkey exist over there in some
Korean
shape?
turkey?
Have you ever heard of that? I'm just trying to think of their skin could change. I guess if you like, if their heads are changing, it wouldn't be feathers. It would be wouldn't it be like a bald bird that has like skin? Let's just say turkey, because the only reason I'm going to say that is because they don't have feathers. So like they have like their heads are naked, so they can see like, skin changing color versus like, I guess.
Yeah,
And
I'm.
let's hope to God they're there.
Yeah, let's see this. Some Korean turkeys.
We went with the peacock.
And with a bloop single over the second baseman's head, the sommeliers are on the board. The correct answer is the turkey.
No way.
Yes. Yeah, they if you've seen their head, it's blue, whitish. It's just very ugly all the time, but it's very ugly in different colors.
Wow. Wild.
Question number 8. Prior to Bauer's 5-week run at the top of the charts with Harlem Shake in 2013, what theme song had been the most recent all-instrumental song to reach number 1 on the Billboard charts? It occupied the spot for 1 week in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go with this, I guess? I feel like this is late 70s, but
I'd like to go with that, I guess. That's better than the other ones we've got.
okay. All right, we're going to lock in our guess.
All right. So my initial thought was the theme from Beverly Hills Cop, because I was pretty sure that reached number 1 at some point.
Yeah, but that's a movie,
Right.
right? And then did Miami Vice have a theme that was like?
It's possible. And then I was also thinking Knight Rider. Because Knight Rider also had a pretty memorable... Because Miami Vice was later, I think. I think that's 87, 88. You want to go with Knight Rider?
Yeah, because I don't even know what the theme to Miami Vice would be.
Yeah.
Like I can't even picture it, whereas I know that Knight Rider was that.
Yeah, I am just
That-
picturing Don Johnson's bare forearms. That's all I can all I can think of. So we're gonna lock in with the theme from Knight Rider.
We kept thinking about 70s shows, unfortunately. Charlie's Angels, you wrote down, what were the ones you wrote down?
The theme song to Peter Gunn was big. Green Hornet, Pink Panther.
Yes, we have no idea. We wrote down A-Team. We think it's 80s. It could be late 70s too, but we just were at a loss, so we said A-Team.
Well, the correct answer was mentioned. The TV show started in 1984. The theme song hit number 1 in 1985. That is Miami Vice.
Makes a lot of sense, though.
Question number 9. In what Pacific Ocean nation will you find the island Vulcan Point? Inside Main Crater Lake, which is inside Volcano Island, which is located in Lake Taal, which is on the island of Luzon.
We can lock in.
Okay.
We looking for a country? I lost
Yes.
track.
Yeah, yes.
Could it just be New Zealand?
It could be. They got a lot of
Features.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
could have been-
they're an island nation.
yeah.
Vulcan
let's-
Point, Crater Lake. It's not really like that sounds English, like naming.
I agree. I think that New Zealand is a good pick. We're gonna go with the Kiwis and say New Zealand.
There was a big influence in this country when they were sort of a part of the United States. But I'm pretty sure Luzon is the largest of the 7,000 islands of the Philippines. So we went with the Philippines.
That is correct. The island within a lake, within another island, within a lake, on an island, within an archipelago in the Pacific is in the Philippines.
Good poll.
For question number 10, courtesy of our benchwarmer friend, Mr. Eric Eade.
Thank you, Eric.
It's about Harry Potter, then, I would assume.
It is about Harry Potter and crack. Born Arnold George Dorsey, this British pop singer who has been described as one of the finest middle-of-the-road balladeers around, released his first album in 1967 and most recently had his song, A Man Without Love, featured on the series Moon Knight. What professional name is Mr. Dorsey known by?
I think I know who it is.
Technically British.
No, he's 100% British, and I believe it is a stage name based on a famous British guy that was a movie. So, yeah, let's go with your answer.
Well, they seem like they had some confidence there. Do we have any confidence over here?
I have an idea, and the only reason is because I've sang. Well, I don't even know. This Engelbert Humperdinck. He was a guy that sang. He was a crooner in the late '60s and '70s, and he had like the Quando 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 song, and that's the character from some Shakespeare play or like some play that's in the past. So that's his stage name.
I think that after all that, whatever you said as our answer is our answer. Engelbert
Humperdinck.
Humperdinck. He was the king in Princess Bride.
Yes, that's where I know the name.
I wrote down Adam Ant, who I think is British, but your guess was a lot better than mine.
Yeah, so I believe that the person we wrote down is Welsh, but if I know anything about the British, right, if something is great and they're English, they'll say they're English, but if they're from like Scotland or Wales, then they're British. And we wrote down Tom Jones.
One team will be receiving points. The man who took a giant leap from the name Jerry Dorsey to Engelbert Humperdinck.
No way!
Wow. Great poll.
You know, we only got 2 right, but they're very good. Very good.
Engelbert Humperdinck is the poll of the day.
And with that, it looks like the scores are fairly close. It's 20 points for the motor oil sommeliers and boxed whining, 30 points.
For the swing round, I am going to be doing 1-sentence summaries. I think these have been done a couple times before, but you know them as sort of plot reductions. I'll be giving the sentence. I will be giving the genre and the year, and I'd like you to come up with the answer. So, for instance, I came up with one, and Louis very, very nicely reminded me not to ask a question about this movie. So, my example is Michael Jordan or LeBron wins his most important championship of his career.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about Space Jam. Got it.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 1. Blue Man boops Maniac out of existence in the interest of world peace. Graphic novel, 1987. Number 2. Teenager's Weekend Fling kills 6. A play from 1597. Number 3. An old man successfully proves that plane tickets are useless and overpriced. A movie from 2009. Question number 4. Man gets rewarded for thwarting a murder when he was really just trying to be a pervert. Movie, 1954 and 2009. Number 5. Goths trade in utopia for some tattered clothes and soggy shredded wheat. Movie, 1999. Number 6. After a thunderstorm, a young girl kills the first woman she meets, then teams with 3 complete strangers to kill again. Movie, 1939. Question 7. Guy makes out with dead body while 7 other guys just stand around watching. A movie from 1937. Question number 8. 8-year-old commits genocide. A novel from 1985. Question number 9. Man shoots his best friend after promising to buy him a rabbit. A novel, 1937. And question number 10. Man ruins his life in order to get back at man who ruined his life. Novel, 1844.
All right, think about these summaries, and we'll be right back. If you guys in the studio know me, and you do, you know I'm a stickler for quality sound in the studio and from our guests, and Zencaster helps us to do that constantly by helping us communicate with our guests in the moment and also filtering their tracks so it's easy to edit.
Yeah, we're loving Zencaster because when we schedule guests from all around the world, we want to make sure that all our files are safe. And Zencaster has a cloud program that uploads everything for us. We know it's going to be there. And if, like me, I spill water on our machine, it's not going to delete everything.
It's happened.
As a man who lived across the country with bad internet, it has saved several recordings.
And Zencaster is super simple to use. You can run it right in your browser. It allows us to check and make sure that our guest microphone settings are ready to go right from the all-in-one interface. And there's pretty much no learning curve. It's great for us, great for our guests.
Thank you, Zencaster,
for supporting this episode.
And we are back with the answers. Can we have the questions one more time, and we'll see what these guys all said.
For question number 1, we had Blue Man Boops Maniac out of existence in the interest of world peace. A graphic novel from 1987.
This one we knew as a graphic novel because of the graphic depiction of genitalia, and we said Watchmen.
We also did that as well.
That is correct. It was The Watchmen. Question number 2. Teenager's Weekend Fling Kills 6, a play from 1597.
One of my absolute favorite ways to talk about Romeo and Juliet.
We also said Romeo and Juliet.
Indeed, it was Romeo and Juliet. Question number 3. An old man successfully proves that plane tickets are useless and overpriced. A movie from 2009.
This one took us the longest, but then once we realized we shouldn't be thinking about plane movies because he doesn't like planes, and we said, what else could you use to get up in the air? And we just said Up.
Yeah, basically the same. This was the one that we came back to that we couldn't figure out, and then like, who's old man? And Matt was like, oh, wait, is it Up? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Up. So we also went Up.
Yes, eschewed the plane for balloons. It was Up. Right. Question number 4. Man gets rewarded for thwarting a murder when he was really just trying to be a pervert. A movie from 1954 and 2009.
Can we get the answer from the star of the film?
Well, you see, I was trying to look out my window, and Grace Kelly...
He's very old.
I'm wearing a cast here, Ken, please. Grace Kelly's interrupting me. I have my camera in my hands, and she wants to have sex.
It's very old.
It's very old, Jimmy.
It's a really bad Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, we went Vertigo / Disturbia.
Rear Window?
What did I say? Oh, Rear Window. Excuse me. Yes, Rear Window.
You went with 2 other movies.
Yes, Rear Window, Jimmy Stewart, and Disturbia.
We said Rear Window.
Yeah, the correct answer was Rear Window.
Got so lost in the impression.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the 5 Goes West dog, Jimmy Stewart there.
All right. Question number 5. Goths trade in utopia for some tattered clothes and soggy shredded wheat. The movie from 1999.
I believe it's called Tasty Wheat.
Thank you.
And it contains all the amino acids that the body would ever need. We said The Matrix.
It's really hard to eat when there is no spoon. We said The Matrix.
Indeed, it was Tasty Wheat and The Matrix. Question number 6. After a thunderstorm, a young girl kills the first woman she meets, then teams with 3 complete strangers to kill again. A movie from 1939.
We went with The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, and then one of the strangers died from lead poisoning, I think, or from being painted with silver paint. Said The Wizard of Oz as well.
That is correct. I don't know that she intended to kill that guy, but 1939 was Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
I think she painted
there's
him.
a bunch of safety issues on that set. OSHA would have had a field day.
Yeah.
The guy hanging in the background.
Which got like 3rd-degree burns from a pyrotechnic mishap.
Question number 7. Guy makes out with a dead body while 7 other guys just stand around watching. A movie from 1937.
Had you not said it was
they
from...
weren't just standing around watching.
Had you not said it was from 37, I would have thought it was a different movie that I'm a fan of. But we said Snow White.
Excuse
I'm
me?
just kidding.
What kind of movie is this? Does it start with a B?
No, I'm just kidding. We said Snow White.
We also said Snow White.
We're not topping what he said.
Well, Snow White is the correct answer, but I am more interested in Jeff's answer.
Yeah.
I was just
Aren't we all? Leaving a mystery.
All right, question number 8. 8-year-old commits genocide, a novel from 1985.
So this one, initially we were putting like Firestarter and The Omen, but we're like, I'm pretty sure those are 70s or early 80s. And then I was trying to think of kids doing stuff that was bad. And Jeff said, well, a civilization could be Alien. And I said, well, what about Ender's Game? So that's what we locked in with.
Yeah, we also thought this was Ender's Game.
Yes, the massive movie flop. It was Ender's Game. Question number 9. Man shoots his best friend after promising to buy him a rabbit, a novel from 1937.
This one, sort of an inside joke a little bit in the studio. We went with Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, the Metallica classic, Of Mice and Men.
Indeed, it is Of Mice and Men.
Just waiting for one of you guys to Lenny me, put me out to pasture because I suck at trivia.
I think when you get the rabbit, that's when you know.
Yeah, right.
You just show up and there's a rabbit at your on your microphone.
Got your new
Neil,
friend.
you said if the podcast got popular enough, we'd go get the farm. Just you and me, Neil. Just you and me.
Just take that rabbit, Ken. It's a prize. Actually, get Gary Sinise to come and do it himself.
What an honor.
I wonder what that would cost on Cameo.
For $300, I'll come there and kill you.
Yeah. He hasn't done much lately, so I'm guessing that you get him cheap, right?
Hard up for cash.
Nah, he's just raising money for the vets. He's a good guy when he's not shooting people in the head.
Oh, God.
Aren't we all? All right, question number 10. Man ruins his life in order to get back at man who ruined his life. A novel from 1844.
This plot sounds like it has Ken written all over it. And if it's got Ken written all over it and it's about revenge at all costs, I gotta think this is Dumas and the Count of Monte Cristo.
It's pronounced dumbass.
I think you're the dumbass.
We also went with the Count of Monte Cristo.
Indeed, it was the Count of Monte Cristo. Well done, everyone.
Great round for everyone. Points on the board.
Perfect for everyone, it looks like. And that brings the motor oil sommeliers to 70. Yep, 70. And 80 for box whiners.
Round 2, question number 1. Which Roman emperor used bribes to race in the 67 CE Olympic 4-horse chariot race using 10 horses? According to some reports, the cheating didn't stop there. He actually may have fallen off of his chariot and not finished the race, but was named the winner of the race regardless.
I was going to put Gavin DeGraw chariot, Jeff, but I like your answer better.
I don't really have much on this. I can only think of who is the evil emperor in Gladiator?
Julius Caesar.
Well, no, it was Mark Antony, and then I went to, is it Cassius or Cassius or like?
Oh, yeah.
And he was, I mean, maybe they didn't put it in the movie, but like he seemed like kind of a, unless you have a better cheating emperor. Of some
No.
sort.
What was your answer? King Cassius? Cassius?
No, is it?
I don't
Is
know
it
who he is.
Cassius, the one that whoever Jacqueline played?
Oh, Fun fact: I've never seen Gladiator.
Gasp.
I know.
You were not entertained, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I don't know if I was entertained. I passed.
Great soundtrack.
Thumbs down.
Could you have any emperors like that you can think of that were like this? I mean, I guess
No,
it could be. Who was the
Alexander
one
the
that's?
Great?
Who's the one that was? If you have a complex and it's like, is it Nero? No, not Nero, but like. Otherwise, if we can't think of anything, I think just Cassius is.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to lock in with Cassius.
Yeah, let's do that.
Gladiator, I think, starts with is it Marcus Aurelius, who's the last of the great five emperors? Yeah, and his heir. I think originally I was thinking that who would do something so despicable, but I think Caligula was too busy arranging hanky panky in the royal halls.
In the vomitorium.
So we went with somebody else who's pretty despicable, since he purportedly let Rome burn, and we said Nero.
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned it, and I hoped you had stopped right there. The correct answer was Nero.
Oh,
Damn it.
He was a bad
That's
dude.
fine.
That's what
well,
you're saying.
feel
Yeah,
good that you
real
knew
bad
who he
dude.
was, because that makes you better than me. Because I didn't.
It's not about being better than people.
That's
Matt.
what this is about. Proving
No,
yourself.
it's,
Feel better about yourself, man. You're worth it.
Question number 2. In Indian Karana dance, I am a Talavilasitam. In Capoeira, I am an Au, spelled A-U. When performed with no hands in dance, I am known as an aerial. What am I?
Did you ever see the movie Only the Strong, Neil?
Yes, I
From
have.
the
I was just thinking of that actually when you said that. Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking of. We're gonna lock in over here because I was thinking of Only the Strong, which it seems like Dave was at the exact same
Is that
time.
a capoeira movie?
Yeah.
I was between backflip and like a head spin, but I don't, because I was thinking of with a dance, but I don't know.
They do a lot of backflips in capoeira.
Okay.
That's the only, with no hands, it's called an aerial, I guess. It would make sense. Like
instead of
doing
like
a back handspring, it would be just a back flip.
like
no
an
hands.
aerial. Yeah, I like that. Let's go with backflip.
Over here, I didn't know how specific you wanted us to be, so we just said flip.
Yeah, no, my daughter just learned how to do this, so she wanted me to write a question about it. An aerial in dance is a cartwheel with no hands. All of those are
Oh.
examples of a cartwheel.
They do a lot of that in capoeira. That's a good point.
They do that.
Question number 3. Place the following sneaker inventions in chronological order of their release. LA Gear's LA Lights, Reebok's Pump, and Nike's Max Air.
All right. So I think the pumps were first. These are all roughly early 90s.
Yeah. So I know, like, I don't know how much. So yeah, like,
So-
what are your thoughts?
So D Brown used the pumps in the slam dunk contest, I believe, in 91. And I think the LA Lights were after that. So I know it goes pumps and then lights, I'm pretty sure, but I'm trying to figure out where the Air Max. And Air Max I think that's 94. I feel like those came out and Scottie Pippen was the big promoter of those, which would be 93 to 95. So I was thinking pumps, then lights, then Air Max.
So yeah, I like pumps light there is fine.
We had a very similar discussion. I also went to my childhood. I knew that there were pumps and lights when I was young that I didn't have before I had gotten any sort of Nike with air in them. So that was the same logic that we used. So we went pump, lights, and air.
So, the Reebok Pump was 1989. The LA Lights were indeed introduced in Matt's second grade year of 1992, but Max Air first debuted 35 years ago this year in 1987.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So Air Max, Pump, and then LA Lights. Where's your order? Question number 4. Minecraft's world generation tool is capable of generating a world that stretches roughly 30 million blocks in either direction from the source, an equivalent in the real world of 64 million meters of width for a total area of 3.8 million square kilometers. When ranking all of the planets in the solar system by surface area, name either of the two planets that a Minecraft world would fall between.
I have no idea what Jeff's doing because he gave us all the numbers, but now Jeff has a calculator out. And I don't know what he's calculating.
He's probably using the Earth's mass. I'm guessing he knows a good amount about Earth, and
He's trying to see how close
probably,
Earth is.
and like weigh out what Earth would be, and then he could just go up from there.
That is correct. All right, Neal, I think I have a guess as to which two planets it falls between, so we'll lock in.
Uranus seems kind of funny. It always kind of fits in.
Yeah, and I feel like this wouldn't be a good question if it was like the smallest. So we could probably rule out like Mercury and Venus.
Isn't Mars smaller than us though?
Oh yeah.
And then you want to pick which side of it. Do you want to go Neptune or do you want to go Saturn?
Oh, we don't even have to. I think we just need to guess one planet, and it could be on either side.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna go with Uranus.
I tried to do some math. I don't know how close it is, but the numbers would lead me to believe that it might be somewhere between the size of Earth and the next planet up, which is actually Neptune. So that's what we went with.
Jeff's math has not led him astray. It is directly between Earth and Neptune.
Man, calculator saved the day.
That's
Well,
how math always works. Dang it.
so it took me a while to remember the area formula, and then I knew Earth is approximately 13,000 kilometers in diameter. So pi d squared, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
It's like
obviously.
Yeah.
it's like
Classic.
half a billion, right?
That's that
So I'm
classic
like,
formula.
somewhere in there.
Gotcha. Well, let's move on to a less mathematical question.
All right, I will skip
These
this
are
math
the
question.
questions that Ken gets mad at me for because he's like, just guess, and I'm like, but I don't
This
want
is
to
the
guess.
first one you've ever gotten right.
I want to do
Yeah.
the math.
And now it's emboldened him to math everything. It's like, which star of Mean Girls? It's like, hold on, I got to get those figures.
The Lindsay Lohan equation.
3, 4, 5. All right, on to question number 5. Name the only two quarterbacks in NFL history to have won both a national championship and a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. As a hint, Tom Brady did not start for Michigan when they won the 97-98 NCAA championship.
Okay, if one of their numbers was 17 plus 42.
We think we have someone who 100% won both, and we're just going to take a guess on the second one.
Okay. So I think Peyton Manning won a national championship at Tennessee. So Peyton Manning
Yeah.
was my first guess.
I had that one too, I think. And then
And then I was thinking back if Joe Montana won, but Notre
got
Dame.
Notre Dame.
And that was back when it was the Writers Association basically picked the national champion. So there were there was two national I forget how that worked. But then I thought, did Trent Dilfer, was he the quarterback of?
He was the quarterback of the Ravens when they won. 'Cause
Right.
I remember they asked Ray Lewis, "Did you ever think you'd win a Super Bowl
Yeah.
with Trent Dilfer as a quarterback?" He had a lie detector on. He goes, "Yes." No.
Was he the quarterback of those Miami teams when they won?
I remember vaguely, and this is only like Mel Kiper talking the crap out of him back when he was coming out. So I don't know if he was, but I remember like he was like the number one.
He was a big prospect.
Yeah.
And I don't think Joe Montana won. I know Elway didn't win at Stanford. I know Aikman didn't win. There's just a lot of people that did not win. Brett Favre, no. Aaron Rodgers at Cal, no.
Joe Namath, did he win?
Joe Namath, maybe, but that's way, way back. You want to try Peyton Manning and Trent Dilfer?
Yeah. I mean, you feel good about.
I
know
kind
he
of
was-
do.
I knew he was a really good prospect, and I don't know. College ball is not anywhere
Yeah.
in my wheelhouse. So if you think he won with Miami back then yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he went to Miami. So
I think he did. I could be way wrong, but I don't care. I think we're gonna lock in with those two.
So We also thought Peyton Manning won with Tennessee.
Yeah, pretty positive on that.
We went down all the quarterbacks. A lot of them, have repeated Super Bowls the last 20 years, but we knew, Russell Wilson, all those, Tom Brady, none of them won. We wrote down Elway. We got all the way down to him. I think Troy Aikman, I might have learned this on Benchwarmers, started the season the Sooners won the championship, was hurt, so he actually didn't start in the championship game, so it wouldn't count. So then we just had Montana, and we just kind of put up a hope and a prayer.
The one quarterback who won for both Notre Dame and the San Francisco 49ers was indeed Joe Montana.
Mm.
The 1998 Tennessee Volunteers won the national championship with quarterback T. Martin, not Peyton Manning. The other one was mentioned. He won as a starter for Alabama and the New York Jets. That is Joe Namath.
Wow.
Ooh.
So no points there.
No.
I would have swore it was Manning. That's crazy.
Mhm.
All right. Unfortunately, a tough start for the first half for the sommeliers. No points. 20 more points for boxed whining. So that brings it to 72-100.
Question number 6. Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi was a Persian astronomer, geographer, and mathematician. A field of mathematics that most students have to take in school is derived from the name of his most famous book, and his name is the etymological root of a term more closely associated with computer science. Name either of the terms.
Okay. I think we're going to lock in since we only need one.
You think that this could possibly be algebra?
I know that's Arabic or whatever. So yeah, that's the only thing I could think of that would be actually like.
Yeah, and I
that's
feel
the
like
root language.
we'll talk ourselves out of the right answer if we talk anymore. So we're gonna
Yeah, I would agree. Algebra.
We'll lock it with algebra.
Yeah, I do think that this is algebra, so that's what we went with.
Indeed. The other term we were looking for was algorithm, but the correct answer both of you had was algebra. All right. A Texas-based craft beer company called the Manhattan Project came under fire in 2019 for naming a beer after what Marshall Island, which was the site of nuclear weapons testing 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I believe we can lock in. Although I can't see how they got in trouble. They already named themselves the Manhattan Project, so I don't know what you're expecting.
Was it the Bikini Atoll? Wasn't that where they did a bunch of testing at?
Yeah, because that's SpongeBob's Bikini Bottom, because they're all mutated animals. I believe that is correct. So I'm good with locking with Bikini Atoll.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lock it.
also the namesake of the two-piece swimwear. We said Bikini Island.
Yep, that is correct. Both teams receiving points. It was the Bikini Atoll. And question number 8. The Canadian band Metric is the inspiration for what fictional band at the center of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? The band includes Brie Larson as Envy Adams on vocals and Brandon Routh as Evil X/vegan elitist Todd Ingram on bass. And it shares a name with an action-adventure platformer for the NES known as Dengeki Big Bang in Japan.
I always forget the sequence where they are in the alley or whatever and the vegan stuff.
You once were a vegan.
Now
you'll be
gone.
I haven't seen this movie in so long. I think I saw it in the theater once.
I've never seen it.
Ken loves this
I
film.
love it.
I have no idea. I can only think of the other band, the Allison Pill band.
Yeah.
So we're just going to lock in with, which is clearly wrong, Sex Bomb, even though it's wrong.
Sex Bomb. Do you have any ideas?
Well, my only idea was Sex Bomb, but now that I heard it's clearly wrong.
Was Bomb the music industry? Does that ring a bell? I don't know if that is a real band or a band that was from this movie, and because I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I haven't really seen it either. I only remember the Sex Bomb one because like we are Sex Bomb, and then hits his drumsticks and goes, and that's because somebody showed it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Otherwise, like the only other thing I got is Spinal Tap, and that's not that. Movie,
This one is not Spinal Tap.
Yeah, this is not Spinal. So yeah, if you have Bomb the industry.
Yep, I think it was Bomb the Music Industry, so we'll just lock in with that.
That is a real band.
That's a real band, yeah.
I played with them one time.
No kidding.
Yeah. Not with them, but, opened for them.
Jumped on stage. Like,
So we got a Sex Bomb and a Bomb the Music Industry.
Yeah, so
I think it's Clash at Demon Head.
it is indeed the Clash at Demon Head.
Good poll. Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
Ken flexing his mighty traps over there.
I went to the Wikipedia entry for the video game, and this is my favorite bit. Billy Big Bang Blitz is a sergeant in Sabre, the Special Assault Brigade for real emergencies.
Bit of a stretch. Little stretch there.
All right. So for the last two regular round questions, my Benchwarmer brethren have written a bunch of questions, and so many that they're bleeding over into the real game. So I'm going to let you guys pick which two, or actually I'll let the sommeliers pick first, which category they would like. We have children's TV, science, geography, definitely not children's TV, music adjacent, comic books, or fast food.
oh, jeez. That's all you. What would you like?
Let's do not children's TV.
Not children's TV.
Okay, Mr. Bombeck has written a question, definitely not about children's TV. In the television series Better Call Saul, what is Saul Goodman's real name?
All right, we don't think we're correct. It's been a while since we've seen Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, but we have a guess that we think is like around the right area.
It's Jimmy something, but I can't because he went by James at some point, but I think it was Jimmy, and and it's not Connors. But I don't know if I'm gonna get here. Jimmy Gill.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
You got it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to sound like a.
Oh, okay.
Sound like you had it.
we're locked
Yeah.
in with Jimmy Gill.
Jimmy Gill sounds really correct.
I believe
It's
it
really
is.
close.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be right because I knew it was something. I think he's from Cicero, from the Illinois area.
He is.
And all I came up with was Mickey O'Connor, but I think we're way off.
Might be McGill.
It was significantly less Irish. Since points are at a bit of a premium here, I'm going to give credit. The correct answer is Jimmy McGill.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Matt. That was a good poll.
That was nice.
I had just enough time to stew on it.
So for our final question, Jeff,
So I think we should pick a category we're bad at so that we can wager big on the other five.
Stop using logic.
okay.
Oh, they're
yeah,
going
there
to
is
bleed
logic.
it into the final. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do either children's TV or fast food, maybe?
Or comic books. Which one do you think we're going to be bad at?
Of those three, I mean, I don't know much about comic books, so
You did say comic books, correct?
Yes, comic book characters, comic books, yes.
okay. Let's do comic books.
Okay, sounds good. I ate an inordinate amount of fast food, so I think we'll be okay there.
Okay. Well, you can thank Mr. Marcus Ellis, the handsome one on the podcast, for this. Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Kyle Rayner are all part of the Green Lantern Corps, and the Green Rings are powered by will, which allow them to create any construct they can think of. Marcus would like you to name any two of the other 8 lantern powers in the DC universe and the corresponding emotion that powers them.
Oh, no. No, I would not like to answer that, Marcus.
With the lantern powers or people?
Powers.
All right, we don't know much about Green Lantern colors and all of that, but we're just going to lock in with a guess.
So I mean, there's yellow that was in the movie. That was Sinestro or whatever. I don't know what emotions related to that. There's
Yellow.
a purple. I think there's a red.
Purple was horniness, right?
I was to say which one is virility. I was just going to make that joke. And then, of course, you had to go much more crass.
Well, yellow,
So,
I would think would
chef's
be
kiss.
fear, right? Like a yellow belly, maybe.
That's
That makes sense because it turns them. I mean, it makes the one guy like I mean, the horrible movie I saw, but Mark Strong turns bad by tapping into it, and he's like, "I'm just gonna do a little bit."
Well,
And then
okay.
he becomes the bad guy.
Just
So
one hit of fear.
Then he just starts
Well,
mainlining
fear.
yellow.
And you said red was probably another one, right?
Yeah, and these relate to emotions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's will, there's a rage.
I would think
For
red
anger?
would be a rage. He's raging Inside Out. That thing was really mad. And red.
Hey,
Red,
that's
red
another thing.
rage.
Yeah. Red is rage. What was purple in Inside Out?
I think it was
Which one is depression?
sadness.
All
that
of
was
them?
that was
We
purple.
got 2, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna do yellow and fear and red and rage.
Okay, when it comes to Green Lantern, I had a friend who was obsessed with them all throughout high school and would try to explain how the colors work. I'm pretty sure yellow is fear because that was Green Lantern's that was his kryptonite, was yellow, the color yellow. I don't know any of the other colors, but we just said maybe blue means calm.
Right. Well, one team will be receiving points. Yellow was fear. So both teams were correct there. Red is rage.
Yeah.
Good logic.
Blue is hope. Orange is greed. Black and white are death and life, respectively.
That makes
respectively,
sense.
Sorry. Violet or purple is not quite horniness; it is love.
It's on the
and
way.
then
Eros,
indigo,
got it.
Indigo is compassion.
All right. Looks like the scores are now very close. It's 110 to 120 with Boxed Whiners slightly in the lead.
All right. Well, Eric, we want to hear the final round categories. We just wanted to say thank you to you and Dave for being Patreon supporters. You've been very long-standing Patreon supporters, which we appreciate, helping us continue to put out new bonus content and upgrade our equipment, all that good stuff. But if you'd like to join Eric and Dave, where can they go, Jeff?
They can go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast, Neal.
And over there, you can get some extra perks like boxes, stickers, posters, but most of all, 2 bonus episodes every month. One Ask Me Anything style and the other trivia focused. And we hope to see you joining Eric and Dave over there at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast.
It would be our honor.
All right, let's get the final round categories that were remaining.
Right. Final round categories remaining are in David Lux, who wrote a children's TV question. Mason Guillot has written a science question. Eric Eade has written a geography question. Dan Lundberg has issued a music adjacent question, and Scott Grimes has a fast food question.
And the wagers are now in. Let's hear the questions.
All right. Question number 1 from David Lux in children's television. Originally performed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz, respectively, Bert and Ernie have been staples of Sesame Street since their debut in David's birth year of 1969 and are among the small handful of Sesame Street characters to appear on The Muppet Show. While Bert's favorite number is 6 and Ernie's favorite number is 8,243,722, what is the total number of eyebrows between the duo? Question number 2. Mason's science question. In 2016, Oganison became the 7th member of a group whose members have names deriving from words meaning new, lazy, hidden, and strange, among others. What is the term most commonly used to refer to this group? Eric Eade's question for geography. The Danube River is the second longest river in Europe with a length of 2,860 kilometers. It runs through 10 countries, including the capital cities of 4 of those 10 countries. Name any 2 of those capital cities the Danube runs through. Dan's question about music adjacent. Born in 1915, this man, whose name is pretty much obsequious in the music industry, is the only person to be inducted in both the Rock and Roll and National Inventors Hall of Fame. Name him. And Scott's fast food question. Considered one of the most expensive flops of all time, what McDonald's menu item was released in 1996 with a massive marketing campaign, only to be such a failure that it was discontinued by the turn of the century? To this day, the item has never reappeared on the menu.
Those are the questions. We'll be back with our answers. Now that all the answers are locked in, we'll hear the questions one more time, see how these guys fared. Looks like the motor oil sommeliers wagered 10, 15, 10, 30, 30, while the boxed whining wagered 10, 30, 30, 10, 10.
Kind of the opposite. Interesting.
All right. Question number 1 was in children's TV, and it was about Bert and Ernie. How many collective eyebrows do Bert and Ernie have?
We thought this one was a trick question for Mr. Lux. I am almost certain Bert has a unibrow, and I do not remember Ernie ever having any eyebrows, so we just said 1.
We also said 1 for the same reasoning.
Yes, 1/2 eyebrow per puppet. That is 1 eyebrow for the 2. Right. And Mason, number 2, the science question. The 7th member of the group whose members have names deriving from words meaning new, lazy, hidden, and strange. What term is most commonly used to refer to this group?
Yes, so I believe that this is the last group on the end the end column of the periodic table. And I believe Oganesson is a noble gas.
Okay. We thought it was something on the elemental table, periodic table. That's what we thought it was. I thought that these were possibly man-made elements, so that's what we locked in with.
Neon being new, lazy, argon, krypton is hidden. That is the noble gases. Right. Question number 3. Danube River, the second longest river in Europe, runs through 4 capital cities. Can you name 2 of the 4?
Yeah, so for us, the only 2 that I could think of, I know that it used to be 2 cities, Buda and Pest. So we said Budapest, Hungary, and Vienna, Austria was the other one I was fairly certain of.
Yeah, I knew it was in that region, right around there. So we kind of threw a couple stabs. We said Belgrade and Bratislava.
Well, between the 2 teams, you got 4 of the 4 capitals.
All right.
Oh my
Well
God.
done.
Nice job.
That was really hard. Those are good polls, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see Eurotrip playing against an answer.
Euro trip paid off.
Oh yeah, it says here you made out with your sister. All right, so
This is the second best use of Euro trip after Scotty doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dan's question. Question number 4, the music adjacent question. Born in 1915, who is the only person to be inducted in both the Rock and Roll and National Inventors Hall of Fame?
This one gave us a little bit of trouble, but we were trying to reason if they were born in 1915, they were probably, working in circulation about 1935 or so. We mentioned Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, but then Jeff said, what about someone who created an amp? And I said, well, Marshall's an amp, but I don't even know if that's named after a person, but Les Paul is named after a person. It's pretty innovative. So we said Les Paul.
Yeah, I was also kicking around the name Marshall, potentially, just based on that. And then also talked about Phil Spector a little bit, but what we settled on was Les Paul.
Both teams receiving points. The correct answer was Les Paul. Well done. And for the final question, Scott's fast food question. What was the name of the massive McDonald's flop from 1996 that was obsolete by the turn of the century and has never reappeared?
So I'm almost positive that I learned this recently just from watching Mythical Kitchen on YouTube. They do series where they do discontinued things, like they redid the volcano taco from Taco Bell. And I believe that this is the McStuffins.
That sounds horrible. I don't know what it is, but
So I'm pretty sure that this is when they came out right around Atlanta Olympics. It was supposed to be their premium burger. They brought it out and nobody liked it. I think it was the Arch Deluxe.
One team will be receiving points. McStuffins would have been a better answer for the children's TV question. The correct answer was Arch Deluxe.
No way.
I remember the Arch Deluxe. I remember getting it during the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
that will conclude today's game. Adding 65 points to their scores, the Motor Oil Sommeliers, nice effort, but with 70 more points in the final. Boxed Whining with a total of 190. You're today's cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
That was a fun and challenging game, though, Eric. Great questions as well from the gentleman at the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. But yeah, hard game, but we eked out a win there, Jeff. Very close.
Wow. I'm absolutely thrilled that we were able to do that because, that last one I came in with such thunder on McStuffins. It turns out, I did look it up on Wikipedia. In 1993, it came out. It was based on a fresh baguette-style bread stuffed with cheese, pepperoni, and or chicken teriyaki. And it was similar to the Hot Pocket. So imagine if you wanted to get a Hot Pocket but made by McDonald's.
I would not like that.
Turns out nobody did, and it was a quick commercial failure removed from the menu after less than 1 year. But just so everybody knows about the original
on that
McStuffins.
sour note, let's say goodbye to our wonderful guest today. Eric, great game. Thank you for writing it today. Any last shout-outs?
Yeah, so just if you were interested in more of me and my friends, please go over to check us out on the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We're all over social. You can catch us on the bench or on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you kids are these days. Thanks much for having me on and letting me write a game. I'm glad to kind of settled into a groove in the second half. Sorry about the first half, but I wouldn't be a game I wrote if we didn't have a bunch of blank stares for a few rounds. So.
And thank you so much for joining us. Same to Dave. Thank you, as always, for coming on. Love to have you on the show. Any last shout-outs?
No, just thanks for having me, and it was a good time. I feel like the 2 times I've been on, they've been like the hardest games ever. But I've also at the same time, it's been I think it gets a little different when you actually have to play in person versus when I'm just sitting there listening to you guys.
Yeah.
So
we'll have you back on again. We'll write you a nice soft squishy round.
Oh yeah.
We'll read from the kids' Trivial Pursuit cards, and we'll just have a really good time.
But yeah,
I'm
lovely.
Smart.
But yeah, lovely having you guys, and thank you to the co-hosts Jeff, Neal, Matt. I'm Ken, and that was Triviality.
I am now capable of holding a clicky pen, though, without clicking it
I
for
trained
one
him.
whole hour.
I had to hit him a lot,
Which is impressive. Actually, the shock collar was what did it. Hey, for any of you out there who need a great platform on which to record your podcast, please use our offer code at zen.ai/triviality, a trivia game show pod. Trust me, we didn't pick that. But the offer is good for 30% off directly through Zencaster. So if you're looking for the same excellent, easy-to-use experience that we get with professional sound, please check out the link below.
Yeah, the discount code's in the link. You can use copy and paste.
That's zen.ai/triviality, a trivia game show pod. Links in the show notes.